Welcome back to West Texas View.
Going through this box is just absolutely amazing because, first of all, how much they can pack. They have really learned how to layer it and get it all in there so that there is a lot of things. It would take almost a whole Christmas day to go through all this. Just one of the things that we didn't talk about a while ago was the foot powder, because I've heard that keeping your feet healthy is one of the biggest problems that you have in Vietnam or Iraq or Iran or wherever it is.
When you have to walk, you better take care of your feet.
Yes.
Also, we didn't mention, in the bottom of the boxes are 5 or 6 hopefully and typically hand-drawn Christmas cards from children.
Yes. Oh.
And it's just been wonderful to get the kids to participate. And you know, when you're talking about 5 Christmas cards in 2,500 boxes, we need 12,500 Christmas cards to go in these boxes. And we always get the wonderful thank you letters back from the troops. And so often they'll talk about the Christmas cards from the kids, how much they enjoy them. You'll see photographs of these men and women in their vehicles or in their bunks, and they'll have these Christmas cards from the kiddos taped to the wall of the barracks that they're in or inside the Humvee. And they do appreciate what the kids do. And the kids say, you know, Art Linkletter's kids say the darndest things. Well, they do. And we're very careful. We read every single Christmas card that goes into these boxes because we want to make sure that somebody doesn't say something inappropriate unintentionally.
Right.
And as we discussed earlier, some years ago, we had a group of volunteers sitting in a circle on the floor in the warehouse, and they were reading the Christmas cards. And somebody yelled at me and said, "Scott, do we have to open this card?" And it was about a 3x5 envelope. Sealed. And there were some lumps inside of it. And you could tell by the handwriting on the card that it was a card from an elderly person. And we like cards from everyone, but we do like them personalized. Well, this card was personalized. We very carefully opened it and poured out the contents and looked at the letter, and it said, "Thank you very much for your service. Merry Christmas. This is all I can afford to do. I live in a nursing home." And it was full of 5 bouillon cubes off the dining table of the nursing home.
Oh gosh, that is heart tugging. I'm telling you, that's heart tugging. But in 9 years, you have grown from reaching little children to the most senior citizens that are helping with this project.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has just been word of mouth. You couldn't have gone around and done all of that. Everybody hears about it and says, "You don't know how fulfilling this was."
I hope so, yeah.
And then they come back and say, "We've got some more volunteers." But it takes a lot because you mail these out. You have to have the boxes ready to mail out in the first week in December. And you begin collecting the drop boxes in October.
Yeah, we set the drop box. We actually kick off the 15th of October, and we'll do so this year. We set drop-off locations across West Texas. And in all honesty, we do not have as many drop-off boxes as we've had in the past. It's a huge logistic effort to get them all over West Texas. But what we have a specific list of where they are located on the website. And we encourage people to go to the website and look for those locations. And just as importantly as that, look at the list of items they are asked to donate, because it's a very specific list. And it's specific as to size and quantity, because one of the things, as an example, we put in the boxes are Kleenexes. Well, we like the little packets of Kleenex, not the Kleenex box, because a Kleenex box will take up all the space in that box. So the list of items that we ask people to help us with is very, very specific and done for a very real reason. We want to get as much stuff in these boxes as we possibly can. So people can go to that list. And what we have tried to do is we typically purchase the more expensive items, like the pocket knife as an example. We purchase those items, and the less expensive items are available for the public to go purchase and donate. And that way a mother can take her children to Walmart or H-E-B or wherever they want to go, and they can buy a variety of things, and it won't break their budget, so anybody can afford to do it. And they can donate those, and then we we gather everything and take it into our warehouse and sort those items and count them. And we have to know that we have enough of everything.
Because then you have to go and buy.
We do.
And that's why cash donations are really important, because there's no paid staff, only volunteers. And so every penny that comes in either buys the boxes, pays the postage, or buys the extra things that you need to make up. So everybody gets a little package of Kleenex, and everybody gets a foot powder, and everybody gets a toy to give. And tell the story about the troops asking for a toy to be put in there, so that our toys, sometimes you have more than one, and that way they can make friends with the little children in there.
Well, we found years ago that the guys and gals were saying, you know, send us Christmas toys as well. And we thought, well, we'll send little corgi toys and Beanie Babies, whatever we can. And really the first time we did it in a big way, we had a second lieutenant whose twin brother had his back broken in Baghdad December of that year. In February, we decided, because Valentine's Day was coming up, that we would send this young man who was still in Baghdad something extra, just because his brother had been so badly hurt, and we knew he was worried about him. So we got a hold of the Aggie Moms Club here in Midland and asked them to bake cookies, and also asked them to gather Beanie Babies or small soft toys that we could use as packing popcorn, if you will, around these cookies. Well, the Aggie Moms called my wife and I one evening and said, "We've got the cookies ready for you. Would you come pick them up?" And we ran over to the meeting, and they had baked 42 dozen cookies.
It's amazing.
And they were still hot.
I knew if you asked the Aggies to get involved,
yeah, and I'm a T-SIP.
It would be oversale.
Well, and this young man happened to be an Aggie, so it was a perfect connection for them. You know, you try and find the right venue and approach to the right market, and that was the market we were shooting for. But anyway, we got back to the house and vacuum sealed all those cookies, and then lined the big box with the Beanie Babies, and then put the cookies in the middle and sealed them up, sent them off to this young man. And the cookies, I think, probably arrived in the form of crumbs, but they were able to eat the crumbs and give out the cookies to the kids, and that was in Iraq at that time. And so it's just a way that these guys can make friends out of the children wherever they are, and hopefully have some influence on the child's future life in a real simple and modest way. And yeah, just touch them and make a difference. We're going to bring you back next Sunday, but before we leave, I want you to give a pitch about how people can get the APO addresses of their loved ones and friends again, because it's really important that they be thinking right now in May and June, we need to get those names to you. Yeah, we need people all across the country to send us the names and the APO or FPO. That's the Army Post Office or Fleet Post Office. It's the specific military address for the people that they know, and we underline know, will be in Afghanistan this Christmas. And they may be deploying right now, they may have already deployed, or they may be scheduled to deploy. One thing we have to be aware of this year is that we will have roughly 38,000 troops. They're down about 30,000 from last year. So we're serving a smaller market. It's going to be more difficult for us to get names.
So I encourage you to go to your website, because everything he's talked about is answered on the website. And we'll be back next Sunday and continue this conversation, this interesting conversation of ways we can help our troops. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.